What is up, peeps? Coach Kev from the Porch. Evening. So the sun's not in my eyes, but that's not why I did it later. I just had a lot of shit going on today. Uh, I was able to equate the Delphi case to a union thing we had going on today. The city sent letters with our pay stubs, paychecks, uh, and it's a direct deposit company. Or I'm sorry, it's a direct deposit. Listen to me. Smoked one too many here. A workman's comp company, and it's just signed this to say that we that change workman's comp suppliers or whatever. There's not a reason for it. I'm not probably save a couple bucks or something. I'm not exactly sure, but that's why they did it. And I'm getting phone calls and questions. What about it's 2 paragraphs? So the one guy, he was pretty persistent about it. So I sent him the Frank's memo, the 154 page, and I said, "This is complicated. Okay, this paper isn't. Sign it and put it in my locker." And well, it is what it is. But a couple things I'd like to talk about tonight. I mentioned doing something on Heuermann. I think I'm going to do a live coming up instead of a porch talk. Turbo's shared some good information on the John Doe, the Asian John Doe, who was dressed like a woman. Who I always was very, I thought that right away, and that's not like a big conclusion to jump to. But Heuermann showed rage there, and that wasn't the usual mo or uh, total disposal MO, if that makes sense. I mean, the body was dumped in a certain area, but there was things that were done to the others that weren't done to him. So that case is building, and that case is just, it's the more you hear about it, the more your jaw kind of drops about how sadistic this man was. The rumors about, maybe him keeping people alive. The dolls. I can't wait to hear about the dolls. We heard about dolls in Delphi, but in this case, I'll tell you what, these punishment dolls or these timeout dolls, it's it's intriguing of how a person gets to be like that. And we know that a lot of it's, your parents, your mom, if you're a man, your mom. So let me intertwine that with Richard Allen a little bit real quick for a second. Uh, Again, I've told you about the profiling thing, and I'm going to share a couple cuts from the profile that I think were kind of spot on. Uh, Recently watched a video by Tobor, formerly the Unraveling, and it's a probably 2 hour video, but it's worth a watch, regardless of how you feel about Richard Allen's guilt or innocent, about kind of like the state of YouTube and things that happened within that case. And I'm sure that after Delphi, it's going to happen in other cases. And, things that were said, and people say, well, this isn't true, that isn't true. Well, I don't know what reason the guy would have to lie at this point. I think it's kind of like a confessional he did, and I enjoy that from people. I get that, and I think when they're genuinely honest and they're kind of, hey, this is how it is, this is how I feel. I appreciate that. I don't have to agree with everything that person says, or maybe I do, or maybe I don't agree with anything they say. But I appreciate that honesty and say, hey, maybe I was misled a little bit here, and if we all did that, the world would be a better place. YouTube would certainly be a better place. But let me continue. A couple of the things that he leaked out. I'm going to go back to that Massa from the FBI. If you go to the first press conference, he's the guy with the tan suit on, different than everyone else's. In my opinion, 100% by design. How many FBI agents do you see with a suit like that? He wants the attention. He wants the killer to know that he's there. The behavior analysis unit's there. The FBI's here. They want him to make a mistake. Got a couple things he mentioned now, as a couple things that were in that video. If we could substantiate that, again, I don't think that Tobor has any reason to lie or anything like that. But you get concrete evidence. Was he off that day? We know he changed his appearance. We know he changed. He grew that beard. Many different things. A lot of things that he said that day. Now we go back and they could be true. So that's very interesting to me if they are true. Time will vet that out. Just the relationship with the mother, too. I go back to that. Confessing to the mother, even more so than the wife. And that might sound crazy. You would think that your wife, you're real close, every day. But even more so, the confessions to the mother. Coerced confessions. These didn't happen under police interrogation. So, you have a guy with 61 confessions, said he was there, has the clothes, not that narrows it down, had the gun. And as people say it's a junk science, it's not a junk science. That people have been convicted by it. If you have a good enough expert on the defense, it's all what's up to the jury. But just things stacking up. And then there's no alibi. And people say, you don't need an alibi. Well, if I'm going to say this was an odinist ritual, I think an alibi would be easier to say than that. Hey, I couldn't have been here. Look at my phone data. It says I was here. Well, they've never brought that up about his phone data, and they can retrieve that very easily. And I'm sure that they have it. I don't know if the state's going to use it or not, but, you know, we'll see what happens there. But, you know, Delphi continues to create content, a ton of content, a lot of people creating content. And it's a free platform, so, you know, people are going to say or do what they want to do. But, you know, just vet things out. If someone makes claims against other people, salacious claims, there's two minutes you could figure out that what they're alleging is not even a fucking crime in Indiana. It's not even listed that way. They take 2 minutes and figure that out, you know. That's all. And then if you look into it and say, hey, I believe this, then that's fine. Then you have a good debate with somebody or share an exchange of ideas. And it's okay to change your mind on things. You know, I've changed my mind many times on the Delphi case. I never had Richard Allen until he was arrested. Even up to a couple months ago, I thought maybe others were directly involved. I still think they may be indirectly or after the fact, or they might even be like an unindictable co-conspirator, as they say, where they were participating in something illegal but didn't know about this particular part of the illegalness, which was the murder, the abduction, and everything like that. But time will tell on that. And the closer and closer we get, the more I think that, you know, there's going to be some kind of plea deal. They're not going to go to trial in October because the defense, the lawyers aren't idiots, and they know that they're just going to get pummeled. So they've carried this as long as they could. For them, reputation-wise, it makes sense. For me, in my opinion, to go and say, hey, we did everything we could. We got it to the Supreme Court once. We pled it out. You know, we kept life off the table. That's a pretty good day's work, plus a little ching in our pocket, plus our Q rating goes up because we've handled murder cases. And if a guy that's doing something non-related, say he's a drug czar and he's, you know, killed a bunch of people, and they say, you know what, man, that guy that killed the Delphi girls, his attorneys got him off without death. I give him a call. You know, that's pretty impressive. After the fact, after we know everything that comes out, the phone, the video is 1,000,000% from the bridge. It's just irrefutable at this point. People got to move on to something else. And if you think that video is fake and it was shot at some place somewhere else or whatever, you got to ask yourself, why didn't the defense bring that up during those 3 days of hearings? Why didn't they bring that up when they had the expert on from the state? I think his name was Fisher. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Are they in on a conspiracy? That's what I say when they have to be in on the conspiracy. People say the family's involved. Well, if the families are involved, the defense would know that, so they're on a conspiracy. So it's just crazy. Just some of the crazy, you know, things, and they're so easily proven false. And, you know, some people like that though. Some people like to just churn over the same thing, and there's an audience for it. So I don't blame them. Do your thing. You know what I mean? It isn't my thing. I don't care to watch it, and I don't care to associate myself with that people. But maybe they're right and I'm wrong at the end of the day. But that's just how I am. But carry on, do what you're doing. But, you know, people get excited. You know, I've done it before. I've jumped the gun on things and bit back. But, you know, the universe has a way to correct everything. And whatever you get into life, you get back. So, you know, things are happening now to people that have been saying absolute craziness. And I don't, you know, I'm not going to dance on anyone's grave or anything like that. I don't think that's right. But you just sit back and you're like, well, you brought that on yourself by your, you know, your behavior. So, you know. We'll leave it at that. Membership thing, I put a first poll up for that. We're going to do the first and last Tuesday of every month. Remember, my work schedule is 1 day on, 3 days off, so I can't say the first of every month, the second of every month. But I can do that. So we're going to start August 24th. It'll be the first one. And there'll be about an hour and a half. I put a poll up. So if you're a member, you can see the poll and let me know what you think, what you want to do. I've already had a couple good suggestions. I want to thank Honeybee. Honeybee bought 10 memberships. A lot of people were thanking her. They didn't even know who she was or who bought them. That's absolutely outstanding. And I just want to give you a more in-depth look at me, what I'm about, and like to know more about subscribers. People want to come up in members only and talk maybe where they don't want to do it on a live with more people. I understand. And maybe that'll launch a couple careers on YouTube, especially women. We need more female creators. And I know people are going to laugh and smirk at that, you know, but like we really do. I think that a lot of the audience is female, according to my analytics. So it'd be nice to hear from different people, different voices, and people carve a niche out. You know, certain people like to do certain things, and I enjoy that. You know, if I want details on this, I go to this channel, not just true crime, but anything, because they're in the know on that niche thing. And one of the things I want to do is get back to the serial killer stuff, the series guys, more in depth stuff. I know I really a lot about them, more than I probably would like to admit. Uh, but the victims too, you need to know the victims' names also. So I'll always make a point that if we bring someone up, we'll be reading victims' names and let everybody know, that important part too. And we want to learn and glean information from these people, not worship them, so we could see this in others. We can maybe help and intervene. That's the whole point of this, is to end this. And there's way less serial killers than there used to be, and it's not just because it's because police have gotten better, technology has gotten better, sharing information has gotten better. So it's hard for someone to rack up a high number, unless you're in Israel Keys, unless there's no victimology. When there's no victimology, that makes it very, very difficult. So that's why a lot of cases are solved quick when it's a family member. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully everyone enjoys it. We could do talks about sports, firefighting, cooking. I don't give a shit. Music, whatever you like. But we'll do 2 a month. One of them I'll put up a poll, and the other one I'll let you guys pick, and you guys kind of steer whatever that topic is. And I hope everyone enjoys it and they get their $1.99 a month's worth. Yeah, I do. So I will talk to you all soon. I work tomorrow. It's Saturday. Michigan plays USC at home. Got my Wolverine shirt on today because I can't wear it tomorrow. It's going to be a tough game. They're home dogs. Orgy's playing quarterback, though, so hopefully that continues to happen, because even if we got to run the ball, 40 times a game, we're not throwing 3 or 4 interceptions. So we'll keep our fingers crossed there. But USC's tough, and we lost a lot, Michigan. We'll see what the Steelers do. They're very, very slim home underdogs against Chargers, which makes me worry a little bit. But they're 2-0, so can't complain about it too much, right? Won't even bring up the Pirates. The Penguins start soon, so at least there's something going on to look forward to coming up here in the winter. But let me know what you think about what I said. I'll be sharing some Heuermann stuff too, and I definitely want to do a live on him, not just do a porch talk, because there's been a lot that's developed. I've done 1 or 2 other things on him, but and then we'll jump back into the series stuff. You guys seem to like that, and we'll try to get a night where we're kind of steady on that too. So I'm going to try to get more steadiness and more. Instead of jumping in 1 week here, 1 week there, with my schedule, it's tough. But things will be slowing down once political season ends here, and as we get into the end of October, the beginning of November, get more on a set schedule and do more content that people want to hear. At the end of the day, always Delphi will cover till it's over in Florida, till there's a resolution there. So you can always count on stuff about that. But let me know what you think. Thoughts, questions, concerns, or if hey, something you said you think I'm full of shit on, mention it in here. We'll talk about it. We'll figure if we can hack it out and meet halfway or something. But all right, I'm gonna leave you to it. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy the fall weather. Coach Kev out.